that's exciting. I'll link
Yeah.
this on my page, and then we can. There we go. Here we go.
You see it on? Can you see it on yours?
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
Well, I don't have the Facebook Live open because there we go. I'm just
That's
posting.
good.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll
Well,
get
Facebook
feedback.
people.
There we go. All right. So I guess we should start talking. Are you there, Linda?
Hey, Facebook people. Look, I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
Facebook people, today we have the amazing Adam Oliensis out of the New York area. And he has been on Thumbtack, #1 comedian, speaker, to help him out on Raw Dog comedy called Aged Wine with the H in it. And it's also on Amazon, and it's on adamoliensis.com. And if you've ever heard Adam's comedy, he's edgy, he's funny, and he's smart comedy. So let's get to Adam. Hi, Adam.
How are you, Linda? How's things out in Vegas?
Good. Oh
Yeah.
I'm telling you, for a while there, we didn't have any sin. They shut down
No
all the sin.
Well, I hope there's still sin in. I hope there was still sin in your heart.
Yeah,
Anyway.
they shut it down.
Right. So, well,
Yeah.
things here are
Yes.
exciting. I just,
I've had a lot of.
booked. Oh, I think we're stepping on each other. You there?
Yeah, there's a lag. I'm going to wait and let you talk.
Oh, wow. Well, we're clearly not married. But well, things are picking up here. I just, oh, are you still there? Yeah, there you are.
Yes, I'm here. Keep talking.
Yeah, this is like a blind date. Things are picking up here. I just booked my first gig in a while. Things have been shut down, but now I'm doing a private event out on Long Island for Father's Day this Sunday. So I'm get to scoot away from my family and make other people laugh, and it'll be fun to get on stage in a venue where I can't be reviewed. So.
Oh, geez. I came to
After
your.
3
I
months
came
away,
to your
I'm not
mind.
sure I remember how to do it.
You're going to get out there and get your comedy juices flowing once again with real people.
Yeah. Break out all the new stuff I've been writing and try it out on some unsuspecting Long Islanders. So.
Yeah, they'll never know.
Yeah, they'll never know. They'll never even know you told a joke. It'll go right by. They won't even know you told a joke. It'll be whoosh. It's like sex. Just she'll never even know. She won't even know it happened. Uh-oh, Linda went green. Linda went green. I made her laugh so hard she hit the green screen button. Yeah. You there, Linda? I'm doing this interview alone.
Tell me.
You there?
Tell me about you growing up and being funny. You must have made a lot of girls laugh.
You know, a lot of comedians say that they were funny to survive, right? And I like, it was never really a survival technique to me, except insofar as making jokes made life bearable for me. I didn't need it to survive as far as other people go, but I just hated what was going on so much that I felt like the need to make fun of it in order to make it even remotely interesting to me, right? Like being in school, I didn't get bullied or I mean, I'm Jewish, so we've really only been white for about 60 years. But so I didn't need it in a sort of social sense, but I just needed it in a personal sense because I thought what was going on was just ridiculous. And I couldn't survive internally if I wasn't laughing. So it just made the day bearable for me. So maybe it's a more selfish kind of comedy and less a survival kind of comedy. So I
Same
don't know.
with me. My parents survived the Holocaust.
Oh, wow.
And so they were out to lunch. They were out somewhere staring into space. So I would use comedy to try to make them notice me. It worked.
Did it work? Did they notice you or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
remember
it's
my first joke.
Oh, what was that?
They weren't paying attention, so I put marbles on my head and let them drop to the floor. And I said, "You're making me lose my marbles."
Right. And it's been a straight rocket ship to the moon since then, right? So that's funny. How old were you? Like 23 when you told that joke?
Maybe 5.
5. All right. That's a
5
pretty
years.
good. That's a pretty good joke for 5. I like that. So I'm trying to.
So tell me
Go
about
ahead.
your entire life. So I'm going to be quiet and let you talk.
You know, I mean, now that you bring it up, I actually remember being in religious school, and the rabbi said, it says my internet connection is unstable. I'm going to shut some things down here to try to stabilize it. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
I remember
it
being in
made you
religious.
look better.
Oh man, that's harsh. I don't need to be, I'm doing this for free. I don't need this kind of abuse. So my wife's out of town. I thought I had a week off. So I remember being in religious school and the rabbi saying sometimes it's important to just be able to say, I don't know, you know, and then he went on a long spiel about saying, I don't know. And then I said I was about 11. I said, so how do you know that there's a God? And then he went on a long talk about faith and kind of, it was BS. And I said, you mean you don't know? And wouldn't it be better just to say you don't know? And I got a big laugh from the other kids on that.
You froze up on me. One of us is unstable. Maybe both of us. Man, it costs $11 to get here just to have poor internet here too. Cut him out. Let's see if he comes back on. This is a crazy day. I bet you he'll text me and say he's coming on. We're still live, and this is real life. Listen, I don't want to listen to somebody's lame ass video. He's so funny. I bet you he'll text me and say he's coming on. We're still live, and this is. I bet you he's coming right back. My Lyft driver says, thanks for letting me charge you $11. Gosh, come back. Let's see if he's coming back. Oh, you get to see all my wrinkles this way. Such great internet service here. Yeah, I think I'll put this right here. That might look better. Yeah, I think that looks better. That's where this belongs. Cover up the neck, turkey neck. Brought my own gloves. Can get these at any buffet. All the buffets are shut, so you can get these. Let's do hand puppets. Waiting for Adam. He's trying to get on. He's trying. See, it says he's trying to get on. He's trying to get on, you guys. Funny together. We're actually waiting until his wife gets back into town. Finds out we're compatible. He has a great sense of humor. I've been to his mic. It's across that big bridge. You know, like if you're in, let's say, Ardsley, New York, and you go up the freeway a little bit north, and then there's a big bridge, and you go there a little bit, and you stop, and you go around these winding little turns. What's the name of his mic? Let's go take a look and see. Anyway, it's a really cool little bar, and he's a really good host. He's got the best sense of humor. And this is what he looks like when he's up on his mic. He looks just like that. Let's see. He's got a cute wife. So adorable.
This is a crazy day.
Trying to get on.
Crazy day. Crazy day.
Let's see. Trying to make this right. Hold on. He's trying to get back. Anyway, his comedy is so right on. And he just doesn't shy away from topics. So let's see. Try to find one that's not about Trump. Anne Frank was a year older than his mother. And here's a post from Saturday at 6:15 p.m. on Adam Oliensis on Facebook. Anybody have whiplash from the NFL's position change on kneeling? That's a good one. Let's see, Trump. We didn't go past that. Here's a good one. This is what these flags represent. Can you see that? If you didn't have a cute from Saturday at 1:54 p.m. on his Facebook, if you didn't have acute respiratory distress syndrome, ARDS, from the coronavirus, then there's a good chance you did not develop the antibody, even though you had the virus. This happened last summer, he said. My wife arrived at our son's baseball game a few minutes late. She says, "Why aren't they playing me? The game was delayed." Lightning. She to him, "Why don't you have a seat on those metal bleachers?" Precisely my view of crowds piling into a Trump rally during the pandemic. Let's see what this one is about. Saturday at 1:24 on his page. I hadn't seen this. This was purposeful murder, not manslaughter in Minnesota. Intentional second-degree murder is intentional murder without premeditation. This is absolutely intentional. Floyd is motionless, unconscious, and Chauvin continues to apply pressure to carotid artery with his knee. Meanwhile, numerous citizens are loudly protesting the inhumane treatment. And he goes on. Here he comes back. Let's try this again. Is he here? Let's try and see if we have any volume today.
I'm back.
I'm like a bat. Hi, you talk. Tell me about your life.
Tell me about what?
You bet your life. Tell me about growing up, getting into comedy till today.
Oh boy. Well, I didn't start doing comedy till I was 49. I was an actor before that. And I sort of had a career doing commercials and doing a lot of theater and made a few movies and some TV. And then when I was about to turn 50, I thought, And I've never, this is a puzzle I've always kind of wanted to play around with. I had actually written a play about a comedian and directed it and produced it off Broadway. And I really loved that play. And it was about a Mormon comedian. And of course his catch line was "Take my wives, please." And but it was about kind of loss of innocence. And then I thought, this is something I'd really like to try. So I went to an open mic, and the first 90 seconds of it were like jumping out of an airplane, and like and then suddenly I got a laugh, and I sort of, I felt the connection with the audience, and I thought, oh, this is pretty fun. And I just kept working on it, and then kind of started. I produced a lot of theater as well, so I thought, well, gee, I could see the elements were very simple for producing comedy, as opposed to, the theater is 1,000 working parts and comedy's like 7. So I just produced a show at a local venue, and booked a headliner, and I was maybe 9 months into it, and I booked a headliner, and I did 10 minutes up front, and with another somebody else I produced it with, and we ended up making a little bit of money. And I thought, well, this is, and I got to work on material, and that was a better way for me to get stage time than hanging around and trying to ingratiate myself with other people, because I already had, kind of a long history of doing that, and I'm really bad at sucking up to people. So it sort of just took off from there, and I sort of started, as you come up through the open mic scene, you kind of have classmates, so to speak. So I started producing and getting booked by sort of classmates, and then other gigs, and then I stumbled on some websites where you could try to book private gigs, and nothing came for a long time, and then it sort of gathered steam on a couple of websites, and I started booking a lot of private gigs. And I remember the first time having to do a 45 minutes and thinking, oh man, do I have 45 minutes? And stretching a little bit and getting through it and thinking, whew, but always just trying to push and write more and perform more, and sort of be aware of where I am and where I'm not, and where I'm trying to get to, and just keep plugging away and grinding away day by day, and writing more jokes, and getting more stage time, and just trying to make a more and more of a connection. So it's not a very funny story. I have lots of hell gig stories, which are pretty amusing. But and there are hell gigs. There are gigs where you're in rural Pennsylvania, and you're thinking like, oh geez, let me get out of here before I get chased with pitchforks and torches, and you can tell when you're making a connection and when you're not, and you just try to get the gigs where you're making a connection and sharing that view of things that made you want to laugh, and when they make other people laugh, boy, there's not much that feels better than that, because as I say sometimes at some gigs, every joke comes from at least a little bit of private pain, because you're seeing some incongruity, something that haunts you, something that you can't make sense of in a regular way, the way everybody else seems happy to. And so if you can find that glitch in the way everybody's perceiving things, and then take that little bit of private pain that makes you feel maybe isolated or alone, or and if you can turn that into shared laughter, well, there's not a whole lot that's better than that. So
Nothing like it. What's the top thing you've done in your acting, and what's like in a commercial, on stage, and in comedy that you want to let everybody know that you're really glad you got to do it?
Let's see. The most fun I ever had doing a play was a play called Italian American Reconciliation, and I did it in Rochester, New York, and I spent 3 months in February in Rochester, because if you've ever spent time in Rochester in February, it's 3 months long, and but that was a great lot of fun doing that play. It's a play by John Patrick Shanley, and I got to be the biggest clown in the best sense of the word possible. You know, that was the most fun I ever had acting in a play. The coolest thing in movies I ever did was I wrote a movie with John Cryer and a director named Richard Shankman, and we produced that in like 95, 96 it came out, and that was it was called The Pompatus of Love, based on the Steve Miller song Joker, the Joker. You know, some people call me the Space Cowboy, that one. So The Pompatus of Love, I'm in that, and that was a really great learning experience. And the movie came out really good in many ways. We got some really nice reviews. We won some awards at festivals. It didn't do for my acting career what I might have hoped, but I had a blast writing it with John and Richard, and then actually getting it on and kind of realizing the vision. That was really a blast. Yeah. In comedy, probably the coolest thing was opening for Robert Klein. That was pretty cool because you know, I remember watching him. The first time I probably ever saw him was on the Midnight Special with you know, somebody Kirshner's Midnight Special, and I was like watching it as a 12-year-old kid in Milwaukee, and then actually, you know, meeting him, hanging out with him, opening for him, talking with him, and then watching him. That was kind of a cool thing. And then my album, Aged Wine, actually hearing that on Sirius XM radio, they played it a few times in its entirety. That was fun to hear that played over the internet, and hearing it and going, yeah, that was. I'm happy with how that came out. So
I'm going to listen to it today since you were nice enough to be patient with me for getting the appointment and the internet problem. I'm going to buy it and I'm going to listen to the whole thing.
wow. Well, I'll send you a copy if you want. So,
Will you autograph it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, I won't put my name on it, but I'll sign somebody's name.
You can put Robert Klein on it.
Yeah, I'll say to Linda, much love, Robert Klein. So yeah, that'll be a blast. So
what are you looking forward to doing after this whole pandemic? What is the biggest thing you want to have accomplished in your marriage and in comedy?
In my marriage, well, my wife left town, so the biggest just for a week. So the biggest thing I want to accomplish is to get her home safe, because 3 of my kids are here now, and without her, it's just way too much work. So I'd like to get her back in the house. That's what I'd like to do. I don't know that she'll want to come back, because spending 3 months with me is pretty intolerable. You know, but as I tell her, I said, you just have to see me, you know, like some number of hours a day, right? And I'm in here with me all day, every day. It's freaking impossible. It's intolerable in here. So imagine what I have to go through. And she's very sympathetic when I put it that way. She feels bad for me. Like, you know, I'm even with me in the shower.
Are you going to quarantine her when she gets back?
Yeah, I probably should. She's in Missouri, visiting her family, her sister's 60th birthday. And yeah, I'll probably just, you know, when I quarantine her, I just lock her in her closet. And you know, she's used to that by now, though. So I just take her out when I need her. And, you know, she's pretty agreeable about that. So if you could know how far that is from the truth. It's really
I can see all the Me Tooers out there rolling over and dying laughing right now.
Yeah, no, she appreciates having her limits. You know, you got to have structure, you got to have boundaries. I help create that for her. Right. Oh man, we're living. You know. In comedy, the thing I'm going to be interested to see, like I just watched Chappelle's new special, and I don't know that stand-up can exist as it has in this moment. between the quarantine and the political situation and the racial tensions and protests, which I'm incredibly sympathetic to, as much as I can be for a white guy, right? Um, but I don't know that
Exactly.
stand up. We'll have to see, because Chappelle, that's not what we know of as stand up in the past. But maybe that's not stand up, or maybe that's where stand up is going. But I think we have to be open to it. Just like we're asking a big swath of the culture to be open to change, and stand up I think has to be open. Maybe it can't be the same. Some of the jokes I've done, I don't think I can do now. Or if I do, I have to rewrite them and rejigger them and take into account and evolve with the moment. Because and that's one of the awesome things about stand up, right? Like if you watch Bob Hope, funny's funny, but you couldn't you can't tell some of those jokes now. And for political reasons, and because they're just not as funny now, because the moment is different, and timing is everything in comedy. And you have to live in that moment to know where the sort of where the dust on a butterfly's wings is with humor now. You have to we have to grow with it.
Yes, you have such a creative, comedic mind. I read a lot of jokes on Facebook, but literally 99% of yours make me really laugh out loud.
Wow. Well, thank you. That's good to know. So you can, hit the like button and
I
then I'll
do.
know. So,
I
no.
do. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I mean, if they make people laugh, then that's, and that's a mitzvah, as we say.
Yes, absolutely. So, is there anything you want to tell people out there that you have coming up that they need to go see, or do you just want them to go watch part of or buy the whole special on Amazon or on your
Yeah. I mean,
website?
other than my album, which is on my website, adamoliensis.com, or it's on Amazon, Aged Wine, WH, or it's on iTunes, or Apple Music, whatever it's called now. Or you can come see me on Father's Day at Jen's house in Hewlett, New York. We'll be in the backyard. We'll be making. that's I have a gig. I have a gig in New Jersey in February. On Valentine's Day. And other than that, I'm just in Jen's backyard and by my album. Hopefully, I have a monthly show that's at Gotham Comedy Club
Really?
every third Saturday at 10:45 in the
What
Vintage
time?
Lounge. 10:45 p.m. at Gotham Comedy Club in the Vintage Lounge in New York City on 23rd Street. But we don't know when that's going to be, when Gotham's going to be open again, and when we'll be restarting that. We're waiting to hear from the governor, just like
Holy
everybody.
Batman.
Pardon me?
Holy Batman.
Yeah. So I'm writing and geez, I have an alarm set for 2 p.m. for some unknown reason. And how do I shut this off?
So we should probably hang up now.
It's my watch. There we go. I got a new watch. I got up from my desk to go to the bathroom, and it said, "Congratulations on getting some exercise." That's what my smartwatch isn't so smart. Yeah. Boy, I know I'm getting old, but I've been congratulated for getting up and going to the bathroom. So, yeah,
You've been such a doll today.
Go ahead.
What?
You can say that again.
You've been such a doll to come on here today and be so patient with me. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's
You
my
are now
pleasure.
you're an official graduate of the Comic Spot. So that means anytime you have anything to promote, Come back on anytime you want to put up with me, and you can promote whatever you want.
I appreciate that. I'll take you up on that. Thank you. Thank you for having me on here. It's a pleasure, and I hope we made some people laugh.
Thank you so much. When the edited version of this comes out from my tech guy, I will send it to you by personal messenger. So
Oh, thank you.
I know
My
you'll be
personal
waiting
messenger.
with that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so
Well,
much, Adam Oliensis.
Thank you. Have a great
Bye.
day. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Every